clients that I work with, right, what's going on with them is they are drinking non-alcoholic drinks from parts. They are below the line drinking. They're in victim consciousness. They're making their decisions from fear, from shame, from a deep need to be accepted into a world where being alcohol free as fuck still makes people very, very uncomfortable, right? They're not drinking non-alcoholic drinks because they want to a lot of the time. They're drinking them because they're afraid to say, I don't drink alcohol. Ooh, that tea's a bit hot. The alcohol industry, it never sleeps. They don't just protect their turf, they expand it, they rebrand it, and they call it progress. And now the EU has uncorked a new bottle of bullshit. Wines with less than 10% alcohol can still be called wine. Chardonnay, Merlot, Riesling, same label, just without the buzz. But is this really progress or just the liquid lie in disguise? Good morning, everybody. My name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life, like right now, helping you do the same. The European Union, they have just introduced some new rules that allow winemakers to strip the booze from wine and still call it wine. As long as they clearly label it as low or no alcohol, it is game on, right? And the justification, people, especially young people, are shifting towards a more health-conscious lifestyle and moderate drinking. Hey ho, hopefully people are listening to this podcast and more people are deciding to stop putting poison in their body. And this is why the alcohol industry have to go, how do we keep the revenues running here? So they turn into non-alcoholic alternatives. And on the surface, it sounds pretty great, right? More options, more inclusion, more innovation. But here's the thing that I think about with this, right? While some people genuinely want these drinks because they support their alcohol-free as fuck journey and they protect them and allow them to drift into self, others use them as a crutch. And this is where the danger lies. And this is what I want to talk about today, right? Because it's a big question. Whenever people become alcohol-free as fuck or start to become alcohol-free as fuck, one of the big questions they ask is, what do I drink? Now, for me, whenever I go to a pub or a bar or a restaurant and people say to me, what do I want to drink? Do you know what I want to drink most of the time? Nothing. I don't feel thirsty. I just don't want to drink anything. And I feel this pressure to drink something just because I'm in a pub. I remember the first time I ever went into a pub, alcohol-free as fuck. And my friend said to me, what do you want? And I said, I want a cup of tea, just like I'm drinking right now. And he said, I am not ordering you a fucking cup of tea. I'm in a pub, right? That says it all about a liquid lie, about status, about what it means to be a man, right? So, all right, whatever, I'll order my own tea, right? But it is a problem for people. What do I drink? Okay, but this is multi-layered. Let's see if we can go through some of the layers of the onion today. I have a friend and she drinks non-alcoholic everything, right? She drinks non-alcoholic beers, wines. She drinks non-alcoholic cocktails. She even drinks non-alcoholic shorts, right? I even tried one once. Like I ordered non-alcoholic gin just to see what the buzz was like. And do you know what non-alcoholic gin tastes like? It tastes like gin. We'll get back to that in a minute, by the way. But anyway, back to my friend. When she drinks these non-alcoholic derivatives, she's actually solid. She's never triggered. She never pretends. She's not trying to convince anybody of everything. She's not trying to hide it. She lives from self, basically, when she's drinking. I call this above the line drinking, when self is in charge of this skin suit you call you, and is actually calling the shots and is drinking no problem, right? Above the line drinking. But most of the clients that I work with, right, what's going on with them is they are drinking non-alcoholic drinks from parts. They are below the line drinking. They're in victim consciousness. They're making their decisions from fear, from shame, from a deep need to be accepted into a world where being alcohol free as fuck still makes people very, very uncomfortable, right? They're not drinking non-alcoholic drinks because they want to a lot of the time. They're drinking them because they're afraid to say, I don't drink alcohol, right? And they still go to the same bars, they still hang out with the same people, and they still order things that looks like alcohol. So nobody questions them. And that is not freedom. That is performance. And as we go into the break, that brings us to a big question, right? If nothing in your environment has changed, if your habits, your people, and your patterns are the same, have you actually changed? Or are you wearing a mask in the same play? Have a little think about that while we go to our break. Welcome back to the 1000 Day Sober podcast. We are, of course, today talking about non-alcoholic drinks and whether or not it's a good idea or not. A 2022 study published in the Psychology of Addictive Behaviours found that exposure to alcohol-related cues, including non-alcoholic drinks that look and taste like the real thing, can increase craving and the risk of relapse, particularly in the early stages of trying to become alcohol-free as fuck. And this is because your brain, your noggin, it doesn't really know the difference between the pint of alcohol-filled beer and non-alcohol-filled beer, right? If everything around is the same. So if you set it up in the same kind of thing, you go to the pub, you're with these same mates, you're doing the same thing, and you drink a non-alcoholic derivative versus a alcohol derivative, actually, the trigger will still be there. It will fire up the old wiring, right? Now, that's not to say that all non-alcoholic drinks are bad. For me, what is most important is how and why you drink them, right? If you're drinking them from a place of power, if you're drinking them from above the line, if you're in self-energy, if you're in a bar with your mates and you're saying, I'm drinking a non-alcoholic version because the alcohol version screwed my life up, nearly destroyed me. It's a poison that kills 3.3 million people a year. And fuck that. I make a different choice. I am not drinking that shit. You do what you want, mate. If you do that, that's fine. But if you're drinking from below the line, if you're drinking from past, if you're drinking from inner child, if you're drinking from a pattern, a wounded place, trauma as a way to protect yourself from being your real self, from exposing the real true self, right? If you're scared of what people think, if you need their approval because you believe that being alcohol free needs to be hidden, then you've got some deeper work to do. And if you're drinking non-alcoholic drinks, you're hiding yourself from doing that deeper work. Strive doesn't allow you to hide, right? Strive is all about becoming alcohol free as fuck. And you remember the tagline, and living a self-led life. That living a self-led life part, this is what I'm talking about, right? This is the work, about doing the deeper work, about finding out who you are, about getting to the root cause and digging out those roots. We don't slap non-alcoholic band-aids on deep wounds, right? We go in, like I said, we find that root, we rip it out. We live from truth. We do not live from fear. So on to today's daily vow. I will not drink today because I want to live from truth, not fear. I want to choose what's real over what keeps me hidden. I want to belong to myself, not the stories my parts tell to keep me safe. Progress isn't swapping one label for another. Progress is saying, I don't need to hide who I fucking am. I don't drink alcohol. I don't need a substitute. I feel like I belong. I belong because I fucking say so. Some reflective questions for you to think about today. And please reach out to me with the answers or type them into the social media platform that you're listening to this, all right? Number one, do I use non-alcoholic drinks as a genuine choice or is it a cover for my status? Number two, what do I feel will happen if I simply say, I don't drink, or I'll have a cup of tea? Number three, who in my life makes me feel like I have to drink something, anything, to be accepted? Pause, reflect, share your thoughts wherever you're listening to this. Tag me in. Let's talk about it. Okay, that's all I have time for this morning. I'm about to go to the farmer's market to buy some more beautiful tea. If this hits home for you, take a moment to rate and review the show. It will help more people find us. Subscribe so you don't miss a single beat of the daily 1000 Days Sober podcast. And if you want to dive deeper into questions like, is non-alcoholic drinks good for me? Then go to www.thestrivemethod.com and join the waiting list to get onto our 6-month flagship program the Strive Method. And I've got some good news for you, because right now we're rolling out the Stuck Phase, Module 1, and you will absolutely love it. Until tomorrow, do not drink today. If you are above the line, choose a non-alcoholic drink if you want to. If you are below the line, skip that shit and just have a nice fresh glass of water or a beautiful drink of Earl Grey tea. Much love and strive on, ladies and gentlemen.